Hello, you all. My name is Savannah DeBurrows, the founder of the S.L. DeBurrows Law Firm and a representative of multi-7, 8-figure entrepreneurs, CEOs, and executives, as well as athletes. So today, I am starting you guys off on a mini journey, which I'm calling a mini series. Because a lot of people don't know where their brand or how their brand is traveling without them. So it's very, very important for us to understand that our brands could end up in other places. And for some of you, probably already are ending up in other places without you. And so today we're going to tackle that very issue about how your brand is traveling in other countries and cultures without you. So without further ado, again, my name is Savannah DeBurrows. I'm the owner of the S.L. DeBurrows Law Firm. I am well versed in contracts, intellectual property, also the protection, leveraging, monetization strategies of that all around the legal aspect, right? But I take full joy in supporting visionaries. Okay. There are a lot of you out there who are amazing at what you do. You are a visionary. You have created and ideated on something for so long, and then you bring it into fruition to a place where you're able to create something beautiful, something sustainable, and that can help you to create a very strong legacy. And so I truly, truly enjoy helping these visionaries, these executives and CEOs take what they've built, grow it and protect it so that they can have a legacy. And a lot of people think that legacies you can only take benefit of a legacy once you pass, but you can take the benefit from your hard work while you're living. You just have to be in a position where you can position the things that you have created in the right way. And a lot of that starts with legal protection, which a lot of folks miss the mark. And so for today, in this series, which is called Where Your Brand is Traveling Without You, we're going to tackle Your Brand Has a Passport. Now, the purpose of this concept or the meaning behind it is we want you to know that your brand is already abroad, right? So the only question that I have for you is, did your protection make the trip? Okay, so it still begs the question on whether you have protected the brand, the business, the way that you hope it's protected. Okay, so the purpose of this series is obviously we want to make high-level entrepreneurs, business owners, CEOs, and athletes realize that their business, their content, their intellectual property, like your trademarks, your copyright, federal registrations, they are crossing borders daily while your legal protections may still be stuck at home. Okay, so that might be a problem. And now that we are so interconnected with technology, brands have the possibility of crossing borders much sooner and often than what people have realized in the past. And that's why it's important to, really pay attention to this today. All right. So let's dive on in. Now, here's one thing I want you to think about. Every time your content or your product or an idea that you have, when it crosses a digital or physical border, your brand is already traveling. I want you to think about that as being a content creator. Let's just say that you create content for a very popular and successful social media company. Having a platform like that where your content is shared multiple times over and over and over again, it's possible that someone in another country is engaging with your content, possibly clicking the buy button, okay? Because they have seen your content, which means that now you may have built a community of people, a community of consumers in a completely different jurisdiction that maybe you had not even realized. Okay. So you don't need a flight to go global. And a lot of people, a lot of brands think that, okay, in order for my brand to really go global in another country, I have to get on the plane, go out there, meet with people, do all these things. That would be amazing. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of you are already global and you haven't stepped on one flight to get there. Your content already went global, right? Your brand has already gone global. You are already making connections with people in other countries. And it didn't take you getting on a flight to do that. So the important part about that is our global exposure is significant now in this digital age. Our technology has, jumped leaps and bounds in the last 10 years. And we are able to connect with people much quicker than what we would have, let's just say 20 years ago, right? 20 years ago, people were doing deals with people within their, within their specific country. Some folks were just doing deals within their specific state, if we're talking about specifically United States of America. So here are a few simple examples that I want to give you guys to really bring this home. Let's think about TikTok, for example. Let's just say that you have some content that has gone viral in another country. Let's say maybe you manufacture your products overseas, or have you been asked to speak in an international event? Now, I know some people that I've even spoken myself in another country, which means that my brand has gone global. I have educated people in another country. There are some folks who have manufacturing deals in other countries, but they have not done the work to protect their brands in those countries. Now, I want to give you a quick little story because there is a very successful woman who I had the opportunity to meet and talk with in regards to her brand. She has built a multi-million-dollar brand for women accessories and cosmetics. And one of the things that she shared with me was that she did not know she needed to protect her brand outside of the United States. She had walked into a big box store in the States and saw basically copies of her product that she created. And these products were coming out of China. So she had no idea that she needed to go and file protection on her brand in that country and retain an attorney in that country to help protect her brand. Now, she didn't have to take a flight to get there. Okay. There are some places where people see what you're doing, they like what you're doing, they're interacting with your brand, or maybe maybe you are a coach and you're providing coaching services, and there are people in other countries, maybe on the continent of Africa somewhere, that is purchasing your services. Let's just say for some reason more people on the continent of Africa is engaging with you and buying your services more than maybe people here in the United States. There is no reason why you should not be protecting that brand in the country where your brand has already traveled to. It is very, very, very important that we understand this, because our brands are going global much often than people realize. And it's cool to say, oh, this person in Amsterdam engaged with my post, this person in Amsterdam bought my book, what have you. Your brand is already global, and we have to make sure that we're protecting these brands, right? Because when we protect the brand, we have the opportunity to further leverage that brand and monetize that brand, which obviously puts our legacy on lock. We don't want anybody else to take benefit of what we have already created. So if your brand has a passport, I want you to think whether it has a visa as well. Does it have that legal permission and protection to be there? Now, here's the benefit of having a federally registered brand inside the United States. So when I say brand, I say that very loosely. I say brand to signify something that you may be selling, whether it is a service or a product. It is the name of something that your consumers have started to identify you with. Okay. So that's what I mean when I say brand. Now, when you have a federally registered brand in the United States, it opens up the world to you because there are agreements with the United States where other countries, as long as they are member states, right, of this agreement, where you have the opportunity to go and register your brand in those countries. That gives you that opportunity to further protect your brand, to also have the opportunity to enforce that brand in those jurisdictions where you are not currently physically, but you're there digitally, right? So you want to make sure that you have the legal permission and protection to be there in that country. And the one thing I want you to think about, where has my brand already landed? Where has my brand traveled? Who are the people that are doing business with me? Because it is possible that your brand is global. Now, if you guys want more information and tips about how to protect your brand and case studies on certain issues that are coming up, not just in America, but also in the world that could impact your brand, then I invite you to join my email list. It is completely free, completely free. All you have to do is go to my website at sldebarros.com, and I will put that in the comment section. But all you have to do is go to sldebarros.com, and that will allow you to get into my my newsletter. Okay, and in that newsletter, you're going to receive, like I say, tips, legal tips, okay, for protecting, monetizing, leveraging your brand, things that you should know about going global, all right, and other ways to protect what you are currently creating. Even if you are ideating on something and you haven't fully brought it to fruition, I give advice on what you should do, because typically you can't really protect something unless you've already created it. But there are strategies around trying to make sure that you safeguard the things that the concept that you are already ideating and creating, so that no one else can come under you and snatch that up. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick mini first episode of this mini series, Your Brand Has a Passport. Again, you can join my newsletter for more information free of charge. Go to sldebarros.com. And it's at the bottom of my screen. I totally forgot. So go to sldebarros.com and you'll get the information that you need. All right, guys. I'm Savannah Browse, and I'll see you later. Ciao.